So we're joined post today's big win over Sandy by senior coach Zane Littlejohn. A really challenging hit out in the end, but a valuable 4 points. What are your top line thoughts out of today's performance?
Yep, spot on. Challenging, and credit to Sandy. They made the game really contested, really tight, impactful game, which we expected coming in. We obviously did our scouting leading into this game, and we sort of expected that game, so we just had to be really patient and really professional with our performance and making sure we're ready and playing the right way so we could ideally break the game open, which obviously in the last sort of 15, 20 minutes of the game we were able to do.
We'll talk about that in just a second, and I say this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, with all due respect to Sandy, is it sort of pleasing to win a bit ugly, to be really challenged and tested, to stick to our guns, to keep pounding the stone and to just find a way?
Yes, yeah, you're right, and I think probably in my first 2 years here as coach, these have been, we've lost one of these two games probably in this period, in this stretch. In the Damien Hardwick big boy months, as they say. So, so we were really pleased. We knew it was going to be scrappy, and but just really a great mentality test for our group to continue to stay fat and stay the course to ideally go out and win the game. At the time, we didn't know that, but we knew if we just stay fat and keep playing the right way, that ultimately the game would look our way for longer. And ultimately it did, and we walk off the ground with the 4 points, which is really pleasing, as you say, in what needed to be a bit scrappy at times, but yeah, to get the win's really pleasing.
You mentioned the last quarter started nervously. They were fantastic straight out of the gates. I think they tied us for the lead at 56 apiece after 6 or 7 minutes. But the boys found a way, they figured it out. What was the catalyst for that run on to the end, 7 unanswered goals?
Well, the 3 goals were all off centre bounce, so we weren't too concerned about that. We made a few little structural things just to help support the centre bounce where we could, and then we were able to get territory off the back of that. We went at 100% for the sort of first 5 inside 50s. We went inside 5 times and scored 5 times. So I think we went at 75% in the last quarter. So scores per inside 50, which is really pleasing. We felt really damaging in front of the ball all day. The scoreboard probably didn't reflect. I think we were 3 goals 6 in the first quarter. So if that's 6-3, does the game go different? Do they drop their heads a bit sooner and what? But full credit, you're right. I think at the 8-minute mark, it was still the scores were even in the last quarter, and our boys just, we tweaked a few things, as I mentioned, around centre bounce, but continue to try and play the right way and continue to be us, and ultimately they got a reward on the scoreboard.
And then lastly, you spoke during the week, and we obviously touched on it pre-match, about the importance of the day for the footy club.
Yeah.
How pleasing is it to win wearing that jumper in front of our live members and past players?
Yeah, it's so special, isn't it? Like, this football club is a really proud footy club. Look, it's had some really dark times as well. We don't hide behind that fact as a footy club, but it's had some really proud times. And today's one of those times where we get to reflect and sit back as a footy club and be really proud of where we've come from and what we've achieved to this point. But now, obviously, we continue to look forward for the remainder of the year. I think the boys love putting on the jumper, but more importantly, love putting on the gold shorts.
That was my next question, was what are your thoughts on the gold shorts?
I actually love it. I think it's cool. And it really takes you back to the 1975 when colour TV started to come in, and that's why the shorts, I guess, grew them. That's how they became. So, I think it was pretty cool, and just great to give back to the people who, I guess, are the reason we're still here and being able to play this great game for this great football club.
Very well said. Congrats on the win. We'll do it all again next week.
Thank you.